feels like 110 degrees this afternoon.
Former President Trump is facing 3 more criminal charges.
There shouldn't be 2 justice systems in America.
I see the hopper coming down, saw running.
There was no kidnapping.
Good morning and welcome to Sunday Today. On this July 30th, I'm Willie Geist. I am happy to report some of you finally are going to get a break today from this summer of record-breaking heat. With temperatures expected to head back to the 80s in the Northeast, we'll take it. But that all came at the expense of some severe weather that rolled through the region, knocking out power to hundreds of thousands of people. And it is still very hot for many of you. We'll have the latest in a live report just ahead. And later, with a cardiac scare at practice this week for the 18-year-old son of LeBron James and the return of Damar Hamlin to the football field, our Sunday focus is on young athletes in their primes suffering sudden heart problems and what you can do to prevent them in your kids. Then in our Sunday Spotlight, Harry Smith takes us to the oasis of a summer camp dreamed up and built for kids and veterans by one of the biggest stars in music. And later, a new Sunday sit-down and some time at the range with basketball icon Steph Curry on the recent thrill of winning a title in a different sport and rising from an underrated skinny kid to becoming a sharpshooting hoops legend who has changed the game.
It was never like an intention of like, that's what I'm here to do, but it's just how I see the game and the irrational confidence that I have to shoot all those type of shots.
A Sunday sit-down with Steph Curry, plus another life well lived a bit later in the show. But let's begin this morning with this record-setting run of sweltering heat and the expected break in temperatures for millions of you in the Northeast today. But for much of the rest of the country, it's still going to be a scorcher out there. NBC's George Solis is in Philadelphia with more. George, good morning.
Good morning, Willie. Yes. Fountains and sprinklers like the one here at Love Park were packed this week when people trying to survive this punishing heat. More than 100 million Americans in 31 states were under some level of heat alert on Saturday, but fortunately those temperatures are expected to break after the severe weather moved to the Northeast at mid-Atlantic. We can certainly feel it here in Philadelphia. It is much cooler, but tragically, one man did die in Virginia after.
Straight ahead, the highs and lows of the week, including the U.S. women's national soccer team on the hunt for a 3rd consecutive World Cup title and finding a little extra motivation after a rival's big hit on an American star. And a classic in the genre of patients still loopy on the gas after having their wisdom teeth pulled as a young woman falls in love all over again. But up next, our Sunday focus on the heart health of young athletes after Bronny James, the 18-year-old son of LeBron, suffered a cardiac incident at practice this week.
It's very difficult to see someone who's young and looks outwardly healthy have a sudden cardiac arrest, but it really highlights the fact that there can be underlying cardiovascular disease that goes undiagnosed.
It's all coming up on Sunday Today. News this week that 18-year-old Bronny James, a promising young college basketball player and the son of LeBron James, had gone into cardiac arrest during a practice at the University of Southern California, sent shockwaves across the country. The incident came just 2 days before Damar Hamlin returned to the field for the Buffalo Bills, less than 6 months after he collapsed in cardiac arrest during a Monday night football game. The high-profile cases have led to an increased focus on the heart health of young athletes seemingly in peak physical condition and a call for widespread screening. NBC News senior medical correspondent Dr. John Torres has more in our Sunday Focus.
Exactly.
And we're so happy he's back home with his family. Dr. Torres, thanks so much for bringing us that report. We appreciate it. Coming up next, a Sunday morning at the range with Steph Curry after his big win at a high-profile golf tournament, including that hole-in-one. Then a conversation about still feeling underrated, even after 4 championships and 2 MVP awards, and the possibility of retirement on the horizon. And then a life well lived, the young freedom rider who stood up to the infamous Bull Connor while leading the fight for desegregation across the South. And as we head to break, our photo of the week, another sign of Elon Musk's takeover at Twitter with the removal of the famous bird logo on top of the San Francisco headquarters on Wednesday. Musk renaming the social media company X, later putting a giant X on the building instead. An installation, by the way, the city of San Francisco now is investigating, saying the company did not apply for a permit to put up the sign.
He's got a chance. Oh, it goes in! And Steph Curry is the winner.
That is NBA superstar Stephen Curry draining an eagle putt on the final hole of the American Century Championship in Tahoe 2 Sundays ago, setting off a wild victory celebration and talk he'd make a pretty good professional golfer, too. That clutch play and unbridled joy for the game look familiar to basketball fans who have marveled at the sublime, one-of-a-kind sharpshooting style that has made Curry an icon of his sport. The 35-year-old has led the Golden State Warriors to 4 NBA titles, including one in 2022, and been voted onto 9 All-Star teams while averaging nearly 25 points per game over his 14-year career. On his way to the Hall of Fame, the married father of 3 has resoundingly silenced doubters who called him too small and too skinny since he was a kid growing up in North Carolina. Steph and I got together in New York for a Sunday sit-down and some time at the range.
The basketball.
Ahead on Sunday today, our highs and lows of the week, including a member of the grounds crew swept under the rug, while the rest of the squad pulls the tarp over a rainy baseball field. We'll see how he got out of this jam. But up next, Harry Smith gets a tour of Camp Southern Ground from the Grammy-winning star who made his vision of a safe place for kids and veterans a reality. We're back in just 30 seconds. Zach Brown and his band are known for catchy hits like Chicken Fried and Toes that have earned them a massive following and 3 Grammy Awards. But for all of his success in music, Brown is most proud of a summer oasis he dreamed up and built in his home state of Georgia. Zach gives Harry Smith a tour in our Sunday Spotlight. In America, died this month at home in Birmingham. She was 83 years old. It is time for the highs and lows of the week, and our first high goes to the U.S. women's national soccer team, battling its way through the World Cup in search of an unprecedented 3rd consecutive title. This week's matchup, you do what you need to do out there. It's hot, Vela, you good girl. We'll be right back with your Sunday mug shots. We were happy to get more of your Sunday Today mug shots this week. Let's start straight across the top here with some big congrats to Carly and Zach celebrating their 10th anniversary in Thailand. How cool is that? Happy anniversary, guys. Hello to brother and sister Kyle and Lucy in Aberdeen, New Jersey. We're told Kyle never misses our highs and lows segment. Hope you liked them this week, Kyle. Thanks for watching, bud. There are my pals Tom and Kelly in front of Hitsville, USA, the Motown Museum in Detroit. Great to see you guys. This one is amazing. Scott, Andrea, Tamara, and Mark from Maryland visiting Jerusalem with our mugs. We are honored by that. Down along the bottom, there in the front left, is Robert, celebrating his 99th birthday with family in Fairfax County, Virginia. Robert is a great-grandfather, a World War II Air Force veteran, and an engineer. Happy birthday to a great American. Check out Phil celebrating his son Marshall's birthday at the Big Badlands Overlook in South Dakota. That looks amazing. Happy birthday, Marsh. And huge congrats to Janet from Lancaster, Pennsylvania, who at almost 90 years old won 6 gold medals and broke 3 swimming records at the National Senior Games in Pittsburgh last week. Janet, You are the coolest. Wow. Send us a photo of you and your mug with the hashtag Sunday Today. You might see yourself next week. And remember, you can get that Sunday Today mug online at today.com/shop. A programming note, Major League Baseball is streaming on Peacock again this morning. It's a good one. Our MLB Sunday leadoff coverage of Shohei Ohtani's Los Angeles Angels and the Toronto Blue Jays begins today at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Never miss a chance to see him play. And you can stream Today live every morning, including Sundays, as part of Peacock's Morning News Live collection. Thank you for spending part of your morning with us. We will see you right back here next week on Sunday Today.
This week on Today, author Judy Blume opens up to Jenna about her inspiration and what's next. Then Al takes us inside the thrilling world of the U.S. Coast Guard. Plus, a huge announcement from Hoda you don't want to miss. All this week only on Today.